Guess I should have switched to the old orange 44 behind me today, Boy Green. We are going to kick today's live broadcast, the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital, off with some Syracuse football talk. And why wouldn't we? Wow, it was a glorious win for Syracuse. Their first ever at Death Valley down in good old Clemson, South Carolina. A very difficult place to play, albeit a banged up or at least banged up mentally.
Spiritually.
Clemson Tigers team, spiritually banged up. Clemson came into this game 1-2. Highly unusual to see Clemson and a Dabo Sweeney team in that kind of state. But indeed, that is the state that they were in, and it was fascinating to say the least to have to enter the lair that way. But Fran Brown and Syracuse, as they said in the movie Remember the Titans, left no doubt, leave no doubt. And they did not leave any doubt on this one, Boy Green, and they were spectacular, fabulous, and got the job done. So Syracuse is a winner. What was the final score? I didn't write it down.
Oh, yeah, let me pull it up. Because
it wasn't even as close as the score was.
Definitely not.
And I know a lot of our viewers know that because I posted a couple of videos, but I was, on a little vacay, a little weekend getaway. But I was still taking a peek at this game kind of intermittently. And obviously I was tracking it on my phone in terms of the score and the play-by-play. So I saw some of it. I experienced all of it in some way, and I was like, wow, I didn't miss a lot in terms of some kind of tenseness or some kind of closeness in this game.
34-21. Yeah, I watched the whole game.
I watched the whole control. Game. I mean, that score isn't even indicative of how the game was really.
They were up like 24-7 at one point, so they were they were really putting it on Clemson, and then I don't know if you mentioned this, but obviously the massive lightning delay in the middle of the game, which affected a lot of the
I didn't know what was going on there. See, I was not in phone viewing at that point, and I was in, the game cast, and it just said delay. And I was like, it's got to be one of those storm delays, right? So I just assumed that, but I wasn't sure. And unfortunately, they didn't put storm delay or lightning delay. It would have been nice, type that in the old play-by-play. But instead, they just said delay.
Which, by the way, was a 2+ hour delay. It ended up being a 2+ hour delay at halftime.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So I saw they had gone to the half, and then the delay started, I guess, sometime at the half. And then it's the old lightning delay, and if there's a strike of lightning, then it's another half hour and another strike of lightning.
Automatically keeps adding on.
And you just keep backing it up until the lightning backs away. Which, by the way, I don't mind. I mean, it stinks for the players. I know. I know it's not fun if you're a fan and you're at the game for that to be going on.
A lot left. A lot of people left and never came back to the game because of it.
Wow. Boy, that's not good for Clemson either, man.
Yeah, definitely.
And apathy starts setting in on your program. That is not a good.
And they mentioned that on the broadcast that this is not the same crowd that we had because it was Bob Wischusen, the Jets play-by-play voice, does a lot of college football. He was on it and was looking around like, oh my God, look at all these people that are no longer here. So yeah, the crowd was different.
Well, they didn't miss much, I guess, in terms of Clemson.
Well, for their sake, I guess.
Hopefully those that traveled all the way down from Central New York stayed. Because that was a glorious win in some ways, another beautiful skin on the wall for Fran Brown and his program. He has continued to surprise. The team is now 3-1. I mean, that is a nice start, and we know how hard this schedule is. It doesn't get any easier, but to get a surprise win like this definitely helps. Kind of, again, for all of us who follow Syracuse football, imagine a bowl. Imagine a 500 or better record.
Halfway there.
And they're halfway there. Now, they're going to have the harder games are coming here. Now
it's at Notre Dame, at SMU.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech just beat Clemson, right?
But, again, I think Syracuse can surprise people. Fran Brown seems to surprise people. But there's some news out of this game. So let's get to the news, because aside from the victory, which is glorious and a first time, as we said, ever to win in Death Valley, we had that near Dino Babers nearly got one down there in Death
Clemson,
Valley.
And Trevor Lawrence,
the third string or the second string quarterback getting in there.
Right, yeah.
Lawrence got hurt.
Which I'm going to be honest, I'll have to double check. It may have been no, that wasn't Cade Klubnik.
No, it was not.
The dates don't track back, but you're right, yeah. But that did happen.
Oh yeah, so that was as close as Syracuse got, and that was very close.
And they should have won that game.
Very competitive Clemson team that year. So that would have been a whopping surprise. But this was emphatic, and Fran Brown got it, and you can't take it away from him. And these kind of, dare I say, placards or skins go up on the wall forever. And that is fantastic. So, listen, kudos to Fran Brown. Kudos to his staff.
Yes.
They put a wonderful game plan together, and they got this done. All right, let's talk about the news out of this game.
Yes.
All right, Steve Angeli, first of all, Syracuse quarterback, gets hurt early in this. Well, early, I show it was like third quarter. Boy Green, when he got hurt, when did he get hurt?
Yes, third quarter for sure.
Yeah, and Angeli, we have learned, Pete Thamel of ESPN is reporting that they did an MRI, and it is indeed an Achilles. So if it is, and if Thamel's reporting is accurate, and usually it is, then he's done.
Late in the third quarter, by the way. Late in the third quarter, just to give the
late third, he's done. And by the way, Ricky Collins, the quote backup, who we thought was going to be the starter this year, season, former LSU guy, but not a lot of college football experience at this point, but somebody that Syracuse chased, wanted, and was very, very much applauded when they got him.
Looked like he was supposed to be the starting quarterback. Yeah.
Yes. Now it's his job at this point.
The year.
Looks like for the rest of this year. So, Ricky, you wanted it. You got it, baby. And you're going to get it over the head because you've got some serious competition coming your way. But at least Syracuse has a good backup this year. At least Syracuse has a player that they thought was even going to be their starter. That's their backup. So, Ricky's going to have to show his wares. And hopefully watching from the sidelines these first few games and playing in a little bit of junk time has gotten him the necessary experience. He looked good in mop-up duty, dare I say.
Did.
A couple of touchdowns. So, you have to be encouraged that Syracuse can come out of this on the other side and not be, oh, no, we lost our quarterback now, therefore our season is now done. It doesn't feel that way. And that's part of what Fran Brown has built here at Syracuse.
Sure.
He hasn't just built a better football team that we could say can compete with a Clemson or a Georgia Tech or whoever you want to name that's any good this year. All right. This is a guy that has created a deeper program. Not only has he gotten better frontline starters, but he has continued in his quest of recruiting and going into the portal to get ample backups, to get second string guys that can play if someone goes down so that you don't just fall apart. Because that has been an MO for Syracuse University for a long time, is dare to lose your starter at a position. And wow, the drop-off is huge. It's just a massive drop-off. Instead, in this Fran Brown era, albeit now only in its second year, I mean, it's in its infancy, but in this Fran Brown era, we are seeing that when the backup comes in, hey, this guy's not bad. And so this is what Collins will have to do, and this is what Syracuse is going to have to prove, that Fran Brown has indeed gone out and not only gotten better players on this roster, but deepened the roster. And I think we're going to get a chance to see it, and I think it might well come to fruition, Boy Green.
Yeah, first off, just pour one out for Steve. Unfortunate, terrible news. He has years of eligibility left. We'll figure out whatever that means for the future. But in terms of the present, obviously, done for the year based on Pete Thamel's reporting. That sucks. Steve has sort of had a weird roller coaster year of, he had a really good, crazy comeback against UConn where he looked bad in the game, but then it came back. And then obviously everything he was doing for the Syracuse offense against Clemson, which put them in the position they were before he got hurt, and Ricky had to do mop-up duty to wrap up the win. You just feel for Steve. He transferred over from Notre Dame. He was probably very much looking forward to Syracuse is scheduled to play Notre Dame in Notre Dame. So Steve would have had his chance for that revenge and everything else against the Irish. And obviously that's not going to happen now. So
continue your thought, Boy Green. I'm just going to drop out of the frame for a second. I'm okay. Right back, and then take us into the
yes, I will.
Okay.
Yeah, right. I appreciate it. Yep. There he is. Lurch there. Oh, yep. Go ahead. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So, long story short, super sad news for Steve Angeli. That's terrible, and hopefully he heals up soon. For Steve, that was tough to see. So that's one piece of the news is that Steve's hurt, and we feel for him. And now Syracuse must move on with a new starting quarterback and Ricky Collins. But here's the other news, and it's all been breaking this morning about Syracuse being accused of faking injuries during this game. The first piece of footage I want to go to, this is Clemson quarterback Cade Klubnik. After the game, Syracuse upsets, Clemson here. They win the contest 34-21, winning in Death Valley for the first time ever. And Cade Klubnik, after the game, unprompted, brings up Syracuse potentially faking injuries. Here's Cade.
I mean, we were doing it really all throughout the game. We were doing it all throughout the game. We were playing with tempo, and props to them. They stopped us on some third downs in certain times, and then they have an injury or something like that when we really got going. So that's up to them if they want to be honest about that. But that was just that was definitely tough for us to really get in a rhythm when we're playing fast, and then unfortunately they have a guy get hurt or something, so or a timeout or something like that. So hopefully everybody. I feel like we came out really healthy, and hopefully they did too. So I love playing with tempo, and I feel like we did it really well, especially in the fourth quarter, but even in the first and second. And just got to continue to do that and find ways to overcome, a delay, whatever it is. So.
There you go. That is Cade Klubnik. Now, you may have missed it because it's a vertical shot for the reporter that was taking it, but off camera that we saw, he said injury in quotes. Again, pointing at the Syracuse faking injuries, he said if they want to own up to that, that's on them. The fake injuries that, again, were off camera for us to see, but he air quoted injury there. That was Cade Klubnik. So he accused Syracuse after the game of faking injuries. Now, a lot of the Syracuse perception from media and fans was what a crybaby. Like, Syracuse beat you straight up, stop whining about it and making excuses. However, we found out this morning, Lurch, that the ACC agreed with Cade Klubnik, and they have fined Syracuse $25,000, which is the maximum fine allowed, and a public reprimand with a statement from the ACC about faking injuries. And there's a lot of stuff here in the statement. I know you also have the statement in front of you, Lurch, but with 9:25 remaining in the fourth quarter, Syracuse violated NCAA football rule 336B, which addresses the feigning of injuries by players, declaring it, quote, unethical and contrary to the spirit of the rules. The action taken by the two players, which I'll show you guys in a second on the screen, especially with the concurrent action by a coach in the team area, was a clear attempt to gain an unmerited advantage by stopping the game in order to secure an injury timeout. And they reviewed it in the league office. There's a person, a national coordinator of football officials, who is responsible for reviewing these kinds of situations to determine whether or not it is factual or not that an injury could have been faked. Here are the other. This matter is now officially closed. They've been fined $25,000 and publicly reprimanded for, you guys faked injuries. That should be embarrassing. Here's the footage real quick, Lurch. And we could talk through this because there's no audio. You'll see a player right there to the middle of your screen. And then player number 2 pops up there as well on the screen. Yeah, so those are the two quote-unquote fake injuries that the ACC at least confirmed were faked.
Listen, okay. I got a lot to say on this one. Okay.
Sure.
First of all, I mean, I agree that players in college football should not be just feigning injuries and then delaying the game, okay? But here's my question or my statement.
Okay.
Where have you been, ACC? Where have you been, college football? This has been going on for several years, and I have seen it in major national games with big stakes, high stakes at critical moments. And the explanation I've been given as to why the officials aren't even throwing a flag, why nothing is happening in terms of any penalization, either post-game or during the game, which, by the way, it should be a penalty during the game. Forget about post-game. It's nice. I mean, but $25,000 to Syracuse. I mean, can I write you a little Christmas card here? Boy, Green, it's like me putting a penny in your Christmas card and sending it out to you. I mean, it's a real burden on my tax bracket here to send you that penny every year. I mean, it's a pittance. It's nothing. It's beyond a slap on the wrist. Let's see penalties on the field. But here's the problem, and this is what I've been told over the years, because I can't even believe in a blowout game like this, late in the game, because this was in the fourth quarter when this happened, okay, that this is going to be the one they're going to let's crack let's whack the knuckles here with a ruler, and let's show these Syracuse people that they can't get away with anything. Where are the fines at other schools? Unless I'm missing something, unless I'm living on planet Mars, I haven't heard much about this across the country at all. Maybe this is finally the year that the NCAA is going to crack down on this, where we're going to actually see teams have some kind of repercussions. But to me, a fine, to be honest, it's a joke. I mean, it just doesn't do anything. And I'm very surprised that Syracuse is being used as an example here in this situation when, like, again, I said, I have seen it in far more. And again, back to my explanation. Let me just finish.
Sure. Yeah, please.
My explanation that I've been given, because I have asked about this. I've asked officials about this. I have asked, college officials about this, people in these. And what I've been told is, well, how do you prove it? How can you prove that that player who got all the way up to the line of scrimmage, about to run another play, and just fell down, like, weirdly, like we've seen it time and time again on television. Right. The guy just drops to the ground like a sack of potatoes. Like, even when they're lining up for the next play. Like, it's like, what, a delayed reaction? Do you have a delayed leg injury, right? I mean, not too many have gotten that, you know, and walking around for a while, then we go, oh, wow, that hit must have got me. So it's been these ridiculous looking things and nothing. You know, well, you know, he's cramping. Or how do we prove he's not cramping? How do we prove that his knee didn't just give out there? How do we, you know, well, we prove it because after the doctors come out and tend to the guy for a minute, the guy walks off with nobody helping him, and then he's in the next play. That's how we prove it, that it's all BS. Come on. This BS has been going on forever. So I love the idea that they're going to crack down on this. And if Syracuse is to be the first example, so be it. Then let's crack down on it. But I better see some follow-up from the NCAA, from other conferences about this, because this is nonsensical behavior. But again, my question is, and the explanation I've been given is, but we can't prove it. And how do you prove that someone does or doesn't have a cramp? I mean, that's the best excuse, right? It's, I'm cramping, you know, because cramp on when you're lining up for the next play. Oh, man, my calf is killing me. And you let them rub it up a little bit. And then, I'm feeling better. They gave me some pickle juice. Okay, I'm good. Who cares in the grand scheme of things? But the point is, this has been going on for a while. And if this is the beginning of a crackdown, then I applaud the NCAA and the ACC. If this is just the ACC getting after the Northerners here because, you know, we dared to do this, well, then I got a big problem with it. So more to come on this, Boy Green, as this story plays out during the course of college football season. Because, folks, just watch some games over this next weekend, and you're going to see some guys falling down just like that at critical moments. So are fines being issued? Are other things being levied? Are we going to see on-field penalties? Okay, then we might have something here.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things here. First off, a lot of Syracuse fans have said, okay, you want to slap us on the wrist. What about Tennessee in the week 1 Aflac game, which Syracuse had a lead on Tennessee? Tennessee appeared to be doing that to us, but I don't remember them getting fined. So if you want to call it straight. Yeah, let's blame everybody who's doing it. Let's call everybody out. But to be selective here,
this had nothing to do with the result. Nothing.
And definitely not, which again is, I'm glad Phil said this, and thank you everyone who's watching with us here on the Manchild Show Boy Green digital Facebook page, YouTube page, and my YouTube page at Boy Green 25. We'll answer some more of your questions and comments here shortly. But I agree here with Phil. I agree a lot of teams do this, talk about the faking of injuries, but it's not why Syracuse won. SU beat them in all phases and were the better team and had the best coaches. They 100% beat Clemson pillar to post, and this had, quite frankly, nothing to do with it, because here's the other nugget. I don't know if we mentioned this on the show so far. After Syracuse, quote unquote, faked this injury, Clemson scored a touchdown immediately. So obviously it didn't affect them.
Yeah. Again, I don't like it.
Yeah.
It should change. They should do something about it. But then they're going to need to explain to all of us, not just the media, not just me, not just all of the fans, okay, how they're going to enforce it. Okay. And to me, they're going to have, this is tricky business. Trying to disseminate whether someone truly has an injury or not. I mean, ever watch a soccer game in your life, Boy Green?
Unfortunately, I have, and I've seen that.
We all have, right? And they go flying on the ground and they wailing
flop all over the place.
And every once in a while, it's actually real. Every once
Most
in a
of the
while,
time it isn't. But Boy Crew cried wolf.
It's not. These literally, they must practice faking it, and we just call it part of the game.
Yeah.
You know, or we just say, yeah, sorry, no foul, despite the fact that you look like you're in terrible pain. And then usually that player, once there's no foul, if there is a foul called, you know, you call a penalty kick or something, or there is a foul, then the player is down for a while. The doctors, gingerly walk him around. He goes out of the game for a minute or two and then comes back in at some point. All right, I'm feeling better, right? If it's no foul, the doctor's 10 for 30 seconds, and the guy goes, all right, okay. And then gets up, pops up, let's go. I was faking it. It's so ridiculous. It's like theater in sports.
They've embraced it. It is very much
so silly, right? And the soccer community has actually embraced it. I don't think we should embrace it in college football. I think we should rue it. I think we should penalize it. I think, but what's that going to look like? Are we going to put it in the hands of the officials and the referees
in the middle of games? Decisions? Come on.
I don't know. I don't have any great answers. All I can tell you is, as a viewer, as somebody who follows it, as somebody who covers it, I hate it. Okay? I hate it. I hate that the players are getting away with this. But fining a university $25,000, that is just laughable. It's just laughable.
Yeah, it very much is. But there's only one thing to say after all this, Lurch.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
And we won. That's what's most important.
Doesn't matter when you win. Right?
Suck it, Clemson. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah.
Klubnik can be as mad as he wants. Dabo can shout from the rooftops. One team is 3-1. The other team is 1-3.
Wow.
Pass the
And
biscuits.
you joked about it with Don Munson, who we had the voice of Clemson on. We'll have the voice of Duke on. Syracuse plays Duke this week. And you told Don Munson, man, what a weird feeling that, like, you know, we're coming in with this better record than you as it currently stands. And look at it, and it's much different now after the contest. So, wow, wow, wow. And I don't care if this isn't your grandpa's Clemson Tigers that won all those national championships. This is Clemson, and this was in Clemson. And Syracuse has never beat the Clemson Tigers in Clemson. This was a monumental win. Syracuse, Lurch, was 17.5-point underdogs on the road, and they won by what they won by, 34-21, winning by 13 points, a 30.5-point differential from what they were projected to lose by to what they actually won by. Incredible. And again, this is a statement win for Fran Brown, and one pelt that you should put up on the wall immediately.
Yes, sir. Right. Just enjoy it, Syracuse fans. You should. You deserve it. There's a lot to enjoy there. So, congrats. It's a good win for Fran Brown. It's a good win for the program. And despite the $25,000 fine, who cares? Who cares? But I would like, as somebody who covers the sport, I would like to see that rule change. Yes. I would like to see some genuine enforcement, but I offer you no solutions because I don't know how you are going to enforce whether a person is on the ground for a reason or not a reason. I mean, other than, if the guy just, after the play, okay, I have perfectly, if I were officiating game, I have no problem throwing a flag and saying that's a bull. Okay. But if players are smarter and more crafty about it and just stay down on the ground after a play at the bottom of a pile or something, how are you to judge whether that person is faking it or not? It's almost impossible, or really is impossible.
Lurch, you have a lot to answer for here. You offended one of our viewers here, Daz Haku Steve.
Sorry.
As someone from the UK, I find this soccer slander offensive.
I just say they embrace it. They embrace it. So no, I enjoy myself a bit of soccer.
Thank you, Daz. Appreciate you.
I don't think we should embrace it in American college football. Okay. You can have it in
different
soccer
lanes.
If you do love the acting, if you like the drama, fine. But I think when most American sports watchers tune into soccer and see that, they giggle.
Flopping. Yeah.
I think they giggle. I think they go, what is this sport and what are they doing?
Which, by the way, soccer people may say that about the NBA. They're like, what is going on over here? So there's some serious flopping happening over there.
I would also say it is the beautiful game. I actually do appreciate the incredible athleticism displayed in soccer. So we Americans
agreed. It's ridiculous.
Scoring.
There you go. He agrees it's ridiculous too.
Okay. But I still do love the beautiful game.
And make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe if you guys are watching on YouTube. Appreciate you. Again, we're streaming live both on the MC Show digital YouTube page and at Boy Green 25 and Lurch. We surpassed
worldwide on the MC Show,
which we are. Yeah, very international, baby. Yes. Which is a great place to be.
By the way, just quickly before you, I know you have a thought. Hold it, Boy Green.
Yeah.
Just because we're on international flavor, I was in the Triple C League playing the #1 Austrian fan, the guy from your channel who's followed you for a long time, and a high contributor, I know, to your YouTube channel.
Sure.
And looks like I'm taking him down. So sorry, Austria. Sorry, it's America 1, Austria nothing. Nil.
Although I will say this,
See,
this goes to show you about emotions, and apparently they're also there in Austria. Our #1 Austrian Jet fan, so he's on a roster. He obviously is managing a team, and after
someone else's team.
Did he what? He did. Yeah, he picked up someone else's team. But the interesting thing is this. So, of course, when you take over a team, you can make all your own decisions. It's your team. Right. And when people are being, lackadaisical with the activity, get tossed out of league, and we're looking for new people. So that has happened, unfortunately, recently. And Austrian took over a team, and week 1, Dak Prescott only scored 5 or 6 points because he had a tough night against the Eagles. Now, in fairness, Javonte Williams just scored some of the touchdowns that he got them all the way to the doorstep too. But regardless, and our #1 Austrian Jet fan cut Dak Prescott after the first week and just threw him out into the streets. And I saw him out there, and I'm like, I don't even know if I can pick him up because I'm like in the middle of the waiver wire. So someone else is probably going to get him. But you know what? Why not try? You want to put it out, and I did. And he immediately became my new starting quarterback. So Austrian, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Although
listen, I have never #1 Austrian fan. If you're out there or you watch this at some point, here's my note to you. Okay.
Yep.
I know I have beaten you with a lead pipe this week. It's okay. It's all right. Wins happen, losses happen. I'm going to lose in the Champs League this week. My undefeated streak is over. I'm now going to be with a pack of people at 2-1, so I'm not looking forward to that. That result is already determined. Monday Night Football will not matter for me, other than my opponent piling up more points on me. But I will say this to you: I have never made an international trade, and I would be highly interested in the Triple C League in breaking that barrier. So, number one Austrian, now that I've beaten you, take a look at my last roster. I'll take a look at yours. Perhaps we could consummate an international trade. That would be kind of cool, that I feel like I could trade internationally with someone. So that'd be a first. I'm down with that. I'm all about experimenting in the lower league. I take the Champs League incredibly serious. I'm not saying I don't take the others seriously. I want to win. Yeah. But I'm going to play a little. I'm going to play on the fringes a little more in the other two leagues. This is a promise I made to myself this year. I'm getting players that I like. I'm going to make some. I'm going to make some trades, not crazy trades. I'm going to make some trades. I'm going to be open to stuff. Okay. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Speaking of fantasy, I just took a gander. There is one team that's guaranteed to remain undefeated in our Champs League, which is Big Al, and another one sort of up in the air. We'll see what happens. Austin and stuff. Monday Night Football is going to determine. So we'll see. That is TBD. But Jamie, the FedEx guy, 0 for 3, just like my New York Jets, by the way.
Jamie.
He says, hi, fellas. Jamie O'Hara on our YouTube page. Jamie the FedEx guy. Hi, fellas. Go Bears, and I'm a dumpster fire. 0-3. Manchild, have mercy on my soul next week. Apparently, you play him next week, and you could sweep the leg and push him to 0-4, which would be a difficult thing to overcome, Lurch.
Yeah. Funny thing on that is, Jamie is the wheeler dealer, as you know, in our league. Of
course.
Jamie offers trades to anyone and everyone.
Every day.
Every day. So he's a very active trader. And I have had a couple of kind of tertiary discussions with him. He's thrown a couple offers at me. I said, no, but maybe I would talk to you about this player. And he's kind of put me off. And so he's made already 2 trades, I think, right? I think he's made already 2.
Yeah, not with me, but someone.
Yeah, not with you or me. He's already made 2 trades. And I just say, maybe you need to be trading with better people, Jamie. You trade with better people, you get better players. You trade with better rosters, you get better players. This is kind of, the narcissism, dare I say, of some sort into trading, So, think about that. Consider that,
Which, by the way, 2-1 over here, baby.
The more trades he makes, the less and less I'm starting to like his roster, which means the less and less likely that I'm going to want to trade for any of his guys, because I don't like who he's acquiring. I'm like, why are you getting that guy? I wouldn't get that guy. That's a bad idea. And he turns into a bad idea.
So you're running out of time, Jamie, is long story short.
I'll tell you, get to 0-3. You can't panic, but you better get busy. Now, Jamie is definitely one to get busy. So I'm not worried about him.
He is 0-3. There's nothing left to be played. He is 100% going 0-3.
He's done. He's going 0-3. I'm going to 2.
But you could send him to 0-4.
What about you? Did you win this week? I don't even know. I didn't check.
Oh yeah, baby. And so sorry for Russ, who's now going to 0-3 himself.
Oh yeah, you played Russ. I saw.
Yeah,
that.
I crushed him by like 50 points or something. So
is Russ 0-3 too now?
He is. I just sent him to 0-3.
So Russ started last season. Russ, one of our longtime players, he's been in the league since the beginning, and has never gotten demoted out of the Champs League, because if you finish in the bottom 3, you get demoted. And Russ, last year, did he start 12-0?
Oh, something like that. Like unbelievably.
He had a run. Unbelievable run to start a season with, dominating our league. You just did not want to play him.
Thought he was going to win the league. Yeah.
Killing it. And he did make it to the championship game. He lost in the championship game. But his team, by the time it got to the end of the season, was a shell of itself. It was a banged up unit. He was missing key people that were key contributors to him having an incredible regular season. So that's too bad. But man, he's got Oppo. See, that's what can happen to you in fantasy. 1 year, you're on cloud 9. You can't.
It's humbling. It's humbling.
And then the next year, you're just a disaster.
Keep you on your toes.
So you can turn it around, but you get to 0-3, and now you really do have to probably go beyond the waiver wire,
concerted efforts,
and beyond just hope. Sometimes you just can't wait for
it'll be too late.
For Brian Thomas to come around, because we all think in some way Brian Thomas. Come on, he's a good.
I love Brian
Thomas.
So
good last year. How is he not going to produce points? But so far he's been a dog this year. It seems like Trevor Lawrence doesn't know how to throw the ball to him. It seems like at times he doesn't know how to catch the ball anymore. He's had a little bit of a nicked up injuries, some little problems, nothing to keep him off the field. But in the end, while they were still winning some football games, they won again yesterday. The Jags. Brian Thomas is trash. He's just he's bad to have in fantasy. He's not doing well. Or for those that bought into LaTravion Henderson, same thing. He's just not playing enough right now. You can't hold on to those guys while you're losing. if you're a winning team, you can, because I can wait for Henderson to start getting more reps, which everyone believes he will as the season goes on, if his talent is truly to believed at this level. But some guys you just can't be. You can't be wait and see guy. That's the good thing about being in a good position, is you can speculate. When you're not, you can't speculate. You play for this week. You play for you look at the bye. You get players that aren't on the bye, that you can beat a guy who has guys on the bye. Like, you just start aggressively week by week formulating a roster to win, because you have to get some W's on the board, because if you get to 0-5, 0-6, you're done. You're probably finishing the bottom 3. It's going to be very hard to climb out of there. So you have to get guys that are producing, even if they're not the guys you thought were going to produce.
Right.
I got good guys on my roster. I've said that before. I got great guys.
Well, the record's a record.
Yeah.
Bill Parcells, you are what your record says you are. So again, you got to make some moves. But what I was going to say earlier is we surged over 300 subscribers last week, which is great. I believe we're up to 308, although that number could have changed.
Can we do this? You make up Thomas here, Boy Green.
Okay. Yeah.
So we've got to give away the Tyree. Oh, there it is. Look at that.
Yeah. Bad shot. Asking about it. When do I get the David Tyree autograph?
So let's do this. Okay. After the show today, let's draw that name. And let's announce that name on Wednesday's show, our Dalton Wasserman NFL show. So on Wednesday, tune into our live broadcast. We start right up at 11 o'clock. Okay. We can do it off the top if you want, Boy Green. We'll have it all ready.
Okay.
All right. Off the top of the Wednesday show, we will announce our winner of the David Tyree thing. And we will also lay out our parameters for the Cleveland Golf Club, which I'll show. I have it sitting right next to me.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
I'll grab it and show it a little bit later. Our friends at Played Against Sports have donated a Cleveland driver. It is brand new. It is worth $400 retail.
So what are we doing? 500 subscribers or what? What's the number going to be?
Yeah, I think that's the number. I think that's the number.
500. All right, there you go.
500 is the number. We're ready at like 307. We're moving fast. Let's try and move it even faster. Tell your friends, tell your family. But 500 subscribers and another $400 item.
So let me promote this fully here.
Could be a Christmas gift for your dad. Could be a Christmas gift for yourself.
So here's all you need to do, folks. It is free to subscribe to the channel. Again, you may be subscribed to my channel. I'm Boy Green. Hey, how you doing? But I want to make sure that you're subscribed to the @MC Show Digital channel on YouTube. That is youtube.com/MC Show Digital. So if you're watching on a different channel or Facebook or something, make sure you hop on over and you will be eligible for this prize that Manchild's displaying over here. I'll make him full screen in a second. And if you're one of our first 300 subscribers, you are eligible for the David Tyree autograph. So just keep that in mind. So go ahead, Lurch. Let's
it's the Cleveland full screen here. The Cleveland logo, Hybor XL. Beautiful leather head cover. I'm pulling it off. Look at the club, still wrapped in plastic, still completely covered, never been hit. Okay. Adjustable. Okay. So if you like your driver at like 9 degrees, a lot of people like that low flight, or if you want to up it, it adjusts between 9 and 12 degrees. Just a little tool you use and you just spin it. It's really easy. All right. Little click tool, obviously brand new, never used. It is a stiff flex, which is what the Manchild plays. So, if you got a little torque in your swing, got a little swing speed, you probably want the stiff shaft. It is, like I said, retail about $400 these days. So, fantastic. Going out the door to one of 500 people.
Again, for free. So get all your friends to subscribe, because again, the sooner we get to the 500 subscriber mark, which will also introduce us to membership level, which we'll get more into that here when that does occur. As you obviously
planning that now, it's going to be
fantastic. Which is great for people like Badshaw here, who I see on the screen. Right, look at that loyalty badge next to his name. That's because he's a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club.
Very nice.
We will have an MC Show digital version. Again, more details to come. But again, to be eligible for any of our giveaways, we're going to keep giving stuff away for the foreseeable future here. It is free to subscribe to the channel. That is youtube.com/MC Show Digital. If you're one of our first 500 subscribers, you will have a chance at that beautiful golf club. And again, if you are one of the first 300, stay subscribed, because we'll be drawing it after the show off air to determine who's going to win that David Tyree autograph, whether it's Badshaw or somebody else entirely. We will.
Yeah, I think one of the perks we'll definitely do, Paul. I know we're still kind of putting together our our little perks program.
Sure,
but I think one of the loyalty program things will be, as we get items of this nature, items that have serious value. It isn't just hey, I've got a thing of Poland. I'll give you a case of Poland Spring. You can get it at the grocery store for $6. If we've got items like this, and I Played Again has already told me they're going to give us more items, and now I'll be on the lookout for things to give away. I still have that autographed, an autographed and another Jim Boeheim wall poster.
Very nice.
And there are several other things that I have here that I have pulled off the walls of our studio from all those years that we were in the studio. When we give away these, dare I say, higher value items,
Okay.
I think that's going to be one of the perks is you got to be, in the club. So if you're in the club,
okay.
now it's not going to be a 1 in 5. Like this is going to be ultimately a 1 in 300 chance for the Tyree, a 1 in 500 chance for the golf driver. But you might be, in a 1 in far less chance.
Interesting.
Especially in the early days of our loyalty program. And I have no problem doing that because I want people that want to be here, that contribute highly, to get in the comments every day. And we have some really, really great ones. Phil's been showing up almost every day. Phil, thanks for being here. Badshaw has been here a ton. We have a bunch of people who have been popping in here on their work during work and, throwing in the AirPods and checking us out. So
we're live 3 times a week, by the way. A reminder, Mondays, Wednesdays at 11 o'clock and Fridays at 10:30.
Yeah, and again, that is where we're at right now. It's not changing in any time in the immediate future, but we probably will, especially as we grow, expand the brand. During the summertime, for sure, Boy Green, I think we'll do more live content because I have more time. So we're gonna make time for you guys and make sure that we're delivering live content as well as some really cool drops in the future. So, and that all depends on your support too. We need your support. We need our sponsors' support. You see them all the time. I didn't even mention our sponsor today, right? I've been like sleeping.
Oh, no. Yeah, please go ahead.
Some days I'm almost taking it for granted and I never should do that. But our live broadcast today is brought to you by our friends at Bayberry Automotive. Bayberry, where they do integrity in everything. They are a wonderful, wonderful auto repair shop in Liverpool, New York. They're about to open a second shop. I'll try and get you details on that once it opens, but they have been planning it for months and months. And I will get you the deets. Boy Green and I will probably go over there once they open it, take some videos and kind of show you the new place. It's pretty cool. And it's also going to be in Liverpool. So if you live in the central New York area and in that Liverpool area in particular, in that corridor, now you're going to have 2 Bayberries, which is awesome because they just do great, great work. As a matter of fact, let's take a moment, learn a little bit more about from our friends at Bayberry Automotive.
Integrity is a word that some people just throw around in life. But at Bayberry Automotive, integrity is everything. Integrity of their mechanics, who are all experienced and certified. Integrity in the work they perform, with nothing but 5-star reviews from satisfied customers on Google. Integrity that goes along with family. A family-run business that treats you like one of their own. Integrity in everything. Bayberry Automotive. BayberryAutomotive.com.
Located on Route 57 across from Bayberry Plaza, the premier choice for auto repair in Liverpool.
All right, so there's our friends at Bayberry.
Yes.
There's just a lot to come on our channel.
Well, let's preview another thing, Lurch, and shout out to Badshaw here. This Wednesday will be our first Survivor post-game show.
Yes!
The season 49 debuts 2 days
part of the
now,
show I didn't even remember. Oh my god.
Which is all right. But thank you, Badshaw, for asking. So
Paul would have told me, and I would have been like, "Yep, okay."
So of course we're a sports show, an NFL show, and college football. We talk about a lot of different stuff here on the show, mostly NFL, but for our Survivor fans, a CBS reality show that's been on forever since the year 2000. It's in year 25. Season 49 debuts this Wednesday. And if you're a diehard Survivor fan like Badshaw, then you're going to love what I'm about to tell you. And if you're not a Survivor fan, try it. Give it a whirl. Wednesday nights for 90 minutes. The episodes start at 8 o'clock, and then they go through 9:30. What we're going to be doing for the first time ever is a Survivor recap episode. Literally, as soon as the episode ends, it'll be shortly thereafter. We'll confirm that here shortly, but they will be Wednesday night's recap. Normally, Brett LaBelle, former Survivor player and other Survivor legends that have joined us in the past, next day on the radio around 10:30 or 11:30, and we'll recap the episode. Now it's going to be like, what I do for the Jets, a post-game show. Boom. Oh, whoa, what just happened? Here are the hot things. Oh, you guys can interact with the show and things of that nature. So, yes, that'll be this Wednesday night. So on top of being live 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings at a variety of times, Wednesday evenings, we will be live for a Survivor recap show of whatever the latest episode was. And again, season 49 debuts this Wednesday. And we'll do our fantasy draft on the show, too, whether that's going to be this week or next week. That's going to be a lot of fun, too. So I can't wait, Lurch.
Yeah, I can't either. It's going to be a lot of fun. Have you talked to Brett yet? I'm a little worried. We know Brett. We've been dealing with Brett for 7+ years, probably 14 seasons, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Brett he gets very emotional about Survivor. He's not always, he's not always, goes along with, dare I say, the
Which is okay. We're in the video world, so some of the things he wanted to say on the radio, he can now say here freely. Yeah.
Well, I'm a little worried. Like he gets a day to process it when he would come on the radio show with us. He gets to get a good night's sleep after the episode.
We get a rawer version, a more pure version of Brett LaBelle.
Yeah, now it's going to be like hot off of the episode.
Excellent.
It's just going to be
great tease.
I'm trying to. I can't get. I never could do a Boston accent.
Come on, those are the easiest.
You can do a Boston accent.
I have to sort of get into character, but yeah.
You were up there for a while.
Yes. So,
other than park the car in the driveway. I don't know where else to go.
Yad.
I mean, that's the only place I can go with my Boston accent. And that's not one of my better ones. I'm a man of many voices.
Sure.
I gotta work on that. My spare time. But Brett he's just gonna, like, if he doesn't like a challenge or he's just gonna come out
great.
He's
good for content.
He doesn't hold back. He doesn't hold back. So so is he all line? Have we talked to him? I haven't.
So I talked to him initially when we broke up, and more recently saying, "Hey, are you still up for this Wednesday nights, not Thursday morning?" Okay. Wednesday night said, "Oh, absolutely, I'm in." Okay. So he's in. I will confirm with this only days away, of course, but yes, and we'll confirm time and have all that finalized for you guys when these episodes are going to be specifically, because now all the episodes this year should be 90 minutes. So we'll be on shortly after those episodes right here on the MC Show digital channel.
So, between 9:30 and 9:45, boom.
Yep.
Up comes the stream, and we'll be live, and Brett will be live, and I'm hoping that he's gonna. I know he's going to bring some other people on. We're going to encourage him to bring, dare I say, some of his fine feathered friends on with us.
Sure.
And we'll have multiple people sometimes breaking down the episodes. So that's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. All right, starts Wednesday night. It's funny. My wife asked me last week, and I go, "Oh, I think it's in a week or two. It's coming up." So I knew it was on the horizon. I didn't realize it was this Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
Get me on the beam here. Oh my gosh, I gotta plan it out now, man. Carve out my Wednesday night. All right, here we go. It's on, baby, as they say. It is on.
So I can't wait. So like I said, if you are a Survivor fan, it's an obvious, easy pitch to give you because it's going to be cool. Me and Lurch, diehard Survivor fans, and Brett LaBelle, a former Survivor player, breaking down every episode and all the boots and caboodles that comes with it. But for the non-Survivor fan, I'd still say it's a pitch, and the pitch is this: try it out. It's 20 normal, regular, run-of-the-mill people out on an island, castaways, and they have to vote each other off after only a couple of days of knowing each other, and they build their own community. So it's a pretty cool show. Hopefully you guys can check it out. It's been on for 25 years. Something has got to have been happening right there for the show to be on that long.
All right, fair enough. So Survivor coming this Wednesday.
Can't wait.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right. Let's do some NFL. I know we want to kick off today with Syracuse and what went on in that game over the weekend. Man, number one, just a couple of little side notes, Boy Green. I am absolutely thrilled. Now, I got to get this game tonight. All right. I'm going back to our Friday football picks.
Okay.
I was on the road. I was kind of picking these, this is rough.
I see.
Beach and boats and ocean on my mind. Okay.
I see.
And now I got to get myself, pick some NFL games, so I would say my prep this week wasn't quite as sharp.
I see.
As it would normally.
Did that reflect in the picks?
With the packing and everything else? No, I had my best week yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, I am definitively over 500, and with a win tonight can be convincingly over 500. Okay. So I am in good stead this week. I am going to move my record closer to 500 by the time the week is over. I think I was 4 under coming into this week off of 2 weeks. So I always tell you, you got to get to 500 and then you build on it. Okay.
Yeah.
You build. Okay. Hopefully you start over 500 and you just keep building.
Of course.
But I did not. I've had, a couple of very kind of lackluster weeks, nothing horrendous, but nothing really particularly to speak of.
Sure.
This week, I hated my picks. I said it at the top of the show. I hate him. Oh, gosh, this was a tough week. Without the homework, I don't know. I feel like I'm throwing darts at a dartboard. And in a couple of instances, as you heard me in the picks, I believe this, which is exactly why I'm going over there. And I did that a couple of times. And actually,
very confusing.
All right. I nailed 2 of my 3 lone wolves.
Okay.
So sorry to all you rest of you making picks, but I know that I got 2 picks that no one else got. I was an absolute disaster on my 3rd lone wolf. I had 3 lone wolves. That means I was the only one picking on the side of that game.
Yeah.
I had the Bengals. Oh, my goodness. The Bengals got murdered by Minnesota. So that was not pretty. The Minnesota defense, whoever had them in fantasy this weekend, yowza.
30 points.
Beauty. Beauty. Every once in a while, you get one of those double touchdown scoop and scores. Ho, baby. You get those. Those are fantastic. But how the heck did I get Philly on a lone wolf? And I'd like to thank the Eagles for blocking that kick and running it all the way back. Because if they didn't take it into the house, I'm a loser. I don't cover the spread. They take it to the house. Manchild is you should have heard me howling out my window, Boy Green. The neighbors were coming down the block going, what the heck is going on over there, man? Is that a dog? What is that? It was me howling at victory, baby, on a lone wolf. Philadelphia freedom, brother. Woo!
So I just don't understand all the words that came out of your mouth in a singular sentence. How did I get them on a lone wolf when I barely scraped by? Woohoo! Like that.
Who cares, man?
How did you get them on a lone wolf?
But man, that was the 3.5 point spread. They end up winning 33-26 thanks to that run back.
And and on top of that, the Rams were kicking the Eagles patookie all day long. The Eagles had a dramatic comeback. Awful.
So love it. The old flipperoo, baby. So that was phenomenal. The Bears just housing those Dallas Cowboys. Oh, I get Chicago on a lone wolf against the Cowboys. I mean, in 2 weeks, we're going to be at the Meadowlands, and I'm going to be rooting against these Cowboys. But to win them on a lone wolf 2 weeks prior, woo! So I was howling on that one, too. Matt Lombardo did hit on his lone wolf. He had the Washington Commanders.
They blew out the Raiders.
We all went for the Raiders.
And they didn't even have Jaden Daniels. Impressive.
Yeah, no, that's why I went with Vegas.
Of course.
I knew
so did everyone, I imagine.
Either damaged or not playing. I don't think we knew at the time of picks that he was out, but it was looking
But it seemed very likely that he
was looking bad. So we got on that one erroneously. That was awful. And I've been telling you, I mean, the one thing that I want out of this year's picks, win, of course, I want to win. I love to win. I've won more than anyone else. I want to win again. There's no question about it. But I've told you there's really only one goal for me this year.
There clearly is.
Winning will be gravy. That will be icing on the cake. The only goal for me is to take the legs out from intern Ed. I want him out of the picks. I want him done for. I want to beat him, and step on him and then, and then move my foot back and forth like this. All right. And Ed, you'll check out your standings, Boy Green.
Oh, I will.
I tracked his picks this week. I always track my own. I don't usually track others.
Especially when you're on vacation with your wife, for God's sake.
Because Ed, is, I think he was tied for the lead, right? I think.
Yes, he held first place crown. That's correct.
He's ready over 5. I'm like, oh my goodness, this guy's getting out to a good start again. He did that a few years ago and just took us to the
and
woods.
Rode that for the year,
Rode it for the year. We just never could catch him, man. I improved as the year went on. This guy just kept going 10-5, 9-6, 10-5.
And he said eventually it's going to stop.
Who's making his picks? Is he like the ghost of Jimmy the Greek Snyder or something? Who the heck is making these picks? All right, someone is making these picks for this kid. This week, just give me Detroit tonight, and he is going to have one of the worst weeks in the history of picks, Boy Green. Yes, it's that bad. Tally him up when you get a chance, my friend.
Okay.
Had him marked on my sheet. Ouch is all I can say.
Great.
Intern Ed, baby. He's going from the top right down to the bottom.
What do they say, Lurch? The bigger you are, the harder you fall. And
so Eddie, I'm coming for you, brother. This is a personal mission this year. All right, take down Eddie.
There you go.
You want it back in? I'm gonna make you regret that. I'm gonna make you regret that getting back in thing. All right. Anyway, let's talk about some of the games. That was just fun stuff that I wanted to get off my chest. All right, we do have a great game tonight. Baltimore Ravens, Detroit Lions. This one's in Baltimore. A lot of people think it's a prove-it game for the Ravens. To
Super Bowl preview, perhaps. Yeah.
A Super Bowl preview. Of course, Detroit had the horrible first week, couldn't even get the offense going at all. Then blew out the Bears last week, really, really showing, chest thumping their offense. And now they're going to get a real serious defense to contend with. So this is going to be a fascinating game. I'm on Detroit on this one, Boy Green, with the points because it was a 5-point spread. I'm not sure they're going to win the game, but I'd like them to stay close. Did you get on Detroit or Baltimore on this one? I think you took Baltimore, didn't you?
I definitely took Baltimore.
All right, so we're at odds, but man, I want this one tonight. Plus Ed's on the other side of this one too, so this is like a double. Like, I got to get this one. I need it for a better record, and I need it to just step on Ed just a little bit harder. Bang, bang, bang. All right. Anyway, I'm very, 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 very focused.
I can clearly see that, and it's a long season, Lurch. We're here in week 3, but it seems like you have the pulse here.
I do. I have the pulse. There's no question about it. Your Jets.
They covered, which is great for them. And for anyone
me and you, we were the only ones. We stayed. I told you to get off them. And you know what? Part of my strategy in telling you to get off them was I knew I was going to pick them. So I was like, oh, just get him off the Jets. I
There's
might
no
myself
way.
a lone wolf because I know none of these other clowns are going to take the Jets this week. They're all feeling terrible about them. I think Tampa's going to blow them out. Mayfield's look like gangbusters. This is the perfect setup for the Jets to cover. So I just felt really good about it, but I didn't want to divulge it to you and Matt. Certainly don't want to tip off anybody else. So I was just holding back, hoping. I was like, Boy Green, don't take the Jets. Get off the Jets, man. This is a disaster. And then you took them. I was like, oh, man. But me and you were the only one on the Jets, and the Jets certainly covered. They only lost by 2. But it just – I saw a little bit of your live cast. I wanted to go back and hear you squeal like a pig because I knew you would.
Oh, yeah.
And there you were. It was just like when Sam Darnold was drafted all those years and we were watching the draft together.
Good times.
And squealing like a pig when the Jets took Darnold because you were so excited. But literally it sounded like, and you tell the story, but it sounded like, you're doing the live stream during the game. I know you've been doing that the last few Jet games.
Yep.
And that you were talking about, all right, we need to block this kick, like if we don't block it, and then you were talking specifically about Will McDonald, right? Who's, on the kick block team, and he's a very active player. And so you're kind of talking about McDonald, and then literally here's the snap, you're watching the TV monitor, it's blocked, and then it's McDonald. Oh my God, it's McDonald. And then McDonald scoops it up and runs it all the way back and scores.
Yeah.
I knew Brian Drake, you saw, he texted both of us.
I saw after.
You saw it after, but I saw it that moment because I was watching the game. Yeah. And then I saw them, and then Brian Drake, one of our fantasy guys, is in our league, texts me and Paul together, a little group text, and he says, Paul must be losing his crap, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Say it nicely right now. And I text him back and I go, careful, there's still plenty of time left in this game. I mean, the Jets just took the lead, but their defense can't stop anything, and they're going to have to do it. Now they got to stop Baker, and all they need is a field goal. I'm like, this is not ideal. This is really, really not ideal. It was great that the play happened, and it was a phenomenal flip play, and the Jets deserve a ton of credit, even in loss, for their stick-to-itiveness. It looked like they were out of this game early. They came all the way back, and then to have a dramatic play like that, flip the game and give them the lead, you almost felt like, oh, come on, they got to do it, and then that defense, of course, gave it up, soft, down the field they go, and win the game. So a heartbreaking end to what was a glorious moment, if you could let yourself enjoy it for Jets fans. I think it was, right?
Yeah, it was. I mean, Will McDonald self-proclaimed it a legendary play after, and he's right. Like, the reason why, and if you guys go, the live stream's up on my channel, so you guys can go back to that moment and watch. It's near the end, obviously. There's only like 10 minutes left in the live stream when it happens. But throughout the whole game, I'm like, and you would hear me saying it throughout that broadcast, ooh, Will McDonald got a little close there. Something to note. Maybe it won't mean anything. Maybe it means something. And another, because like the Buccaneers scored a lot of field goals and touchdowns, so a lot of points were scored. And Will kept getting closer and closer. And I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen here. And then we get to that play, and I'm like, well, the Bucs are up 26-20. It's the 2-minute warning. The only chance for the Jets is this kicker straight up misses, or it's a block. That's the only chance for the Jets, because if they go up 9, multiple scores with less than 2 minutes to go. The Jets offense has been very inconsistent, and you need an onside kick. You need all kinds of craziness to happen. I'm like, boy, they need a block here. Where the hell is Will McDonald? And I couldn't see him. Everyone was all lined up down, so you can't see the jersey numbers. And I'm like, I don't know where he is, but that would be the guy. And then as I'm watching play-by-play, and I see him leap the line, and I'm like, no way. And sometimes there's a penalty, so you never hope for that. But he leaps, and then I just see him do this, and I see the ball like boink and like go the other direction. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I can't believe this just happened. And so incredible play. Will McDonald deserves a lot of credit. If the Jets won, that would be the headline on ESPN everywhere, that this insane play happened, that not only did he deflect it, but he collected this oblong-shaped football bouncing all over the place right into his arms, and he's fast as all heck. He's a crazy athletic guy, 6'4", 245 pounds, and he's an interesting guy too. He's got jewelry and colored locks, and he's just a skateboarder. Like, he's got a very weird, like, everything about him. He's very unique. And so for him to do all this was just crazy. And yes, I did see the clock a minute 40, but I just and I kept convincing people because at the beginning of the fourth quarter, Jets were down 23-6. And I was telling the fans, they're like, this is over. I'm like, guys, there's still time. We can do something here. We just need to sack up. And so fast forward to the end of the game, right? So the Jets take the lead. They lead 27-26 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And there's a minute 48 left or something in the game. I'm like, defense, if you're on the sideline, look at what Will McDonald just did for us. He gave us the lead. Guys, we just got to stop him once. One time. We stop him, we win. It's over. And unfortunately, as you've mentioned, the Jets defense has been soft butter throughout this entire season, and a butter knife has gone through them, and they folded, which is incredibly disappointing because AG cuts his teeth on defense. I know he doesn't call the plays. That's Steve Wilkes, but with all the talent that's on this defense, it was, highly disappointing to see how they performed so far this season. But now you've had two games that have been decided last second, a loss to Pittsburgh and a loss to Tampa Bay here. The thing I would just say to Jet fans is this: there's no moral cookies. You're 0-3. Like all the analytics and numbers say everything that you need to say. If the draft started today, the Jets would have the number 1 overall pick, which stinks to say. But boy, we just played. Buffalo's obviously a Super Bowl contender. Pittsburgh's probably with us as a 50-50 team. They beat New England over the weekend. They're 2-1. And Tampa's undefeated, and they're the only NFC team that's made the playoffs 5 straight years. So they're really good. The Jets are playing tough opponents. We knew that there was a tough start to the season, and it's going to get softer. They play the Saints later. Did you see what happened with the Saints in Seattle, for God's sakes? They play Carolina, who I know looked good against Atlanta, but they'd looked terrible all season long. You have the Falcons, who are inconsistent. You play the Dolphins on Monday Night Football next. Like, you have a lot of games here that you can win. So I wouldn't write off this Jets season if I were you out in the audience, because I certainly won't be. But they need to get wins. It's result-oriented business, and they've done no winning so far.
Yeah. I know it's tough. So both 0-3, Boy Green. Both 0-3. And I said the Giants and Jets, their stories are somewhat similar while different. Sure. And that is 2 of the 3 games either team could have won.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
even that game last night, I know on the scoreboard it doesn't look like it. I mean, Kansas
City lost by 15 or whatever.
It looks like all right, Kansas City took care of business. They didn't take care of business. They were awful in the first half.
Oh, yeah.
The Giants defense finally showed up for a game. And if the offense could have just done anything, and I mean, can we please get Malik Neighbors the ball? I mean,
what did he finish up with?
I'm going to be like Malik. I was complaining after the first game that he was already, spouting off on the sideline, being overly emotional. Like, dude, calm down. Let's we're just getting started here, But now I'm starting to see the light through his eyes, and I'm like, good grief. I mean, if they're bracketing him, if they're doubling him, if they're sending people at him, so, run him on sweeps, run a reverse, get him on a bubble screen, just set up things to get him the ball in space, because players make plays. And you can't let another team just negate a guy by just, okay, we're going to put more guys on him, especially if you're not like, all right, If they are sending too much attention to Malik Neighbors, then that means Wandale's wide open. That means Slayton's wide open. Everybody's getting one-on-one matchups. Therefore, all right, then Gunslinger Russ should just be going boom, 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 boom to these other guys. And again, nothing really to complain about if you're Neighbors, at least in my opinion, because, while you want your own numbers and your own stats, the fact of the matter is, the other guys are producing. But this was a case where the other guys weren't getting open. They weren't producing. Russ wasn't getting it to him. So at the very least, can you get it to your playmakers? I mean, this is exactly the same thing the Giants did with Saquon Barkley year after year. I was just constantly complaining, get the guy the ball. He's the best guy in your offense. Like, I don't want Daniel Jones dinking and dunking at the stinking tight ends we have. Could you please get the ball to Saquon Barkley? This guy could break one on any play. So let's get him the ball multiple times in a game. And the Giants have to make a concerted effort at this point of their evolution to do that with Malik Neighbors. And it's on Brian Daboll last night. That first half is on Daboll. It's on Kafka. It's on that offensive play calling. And ultimately it's Daboll, because he's the head coach and he's an offensive mind, and he's supposedly a quarterback whisperer. Well, let's get the ball to the primary receiver some way, somehow. Okay, you watch the first series or two. Okay, they're doing this. Now you do that. They zig, you zag. Like, you change it up. You don't just keep running them down the field on routes and hoping that the next one he's going to get open.
Did you see what he finished up with?
It works against the bracket. 2 catches for 13 yards.
Yeah, but think about this. So, that's true, and that's awful. Last week, he had 9 catches for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns as he went in that crazy game against the Cowboys. How do you go from that to that?
Right, and I don't want to hear, Steve Spagnuolo's. Come on. No. He's a defensive coordinator in the NFL. They're all good, okay? Yeah. Some might be better than others, but they're all good. You have to look at what your opponent's giving you, and then you have to take what they're, you have to take the opposite. You got to.
Do you think that's a unique strategy? Steve's like, you know what? We should probably try to double that Malik Neighbors guy.
Yeah.
That's what every defensive coordinator is saying when they play the New York Giants. Come on, man.
So what are you going to do next week when they do the same thing?
I guess we can't throw it to him? That's stupid.
You work in practice and in the offseason on designing plays that make it easy to get the ball to your playmakers. You have to do that. You have to do that. That is just basic coaching, okay? You and me, Boy Green, could be coaching in the NFL doing that kind of stuff, okay?
Yeah.
So there's just no excuse. This loss last night to me is a loss that I would pin on the head coach, and I would say, we're getting close here now, Brian. If you don't start turning this thing around and figuring out how to deal with adversity of the other team doing things to you, then we got a problem. And by the way, it was nice to see Andrew Thomas out there, although I guess the Giants must have made the decision that they were only going to play him for a half. So
Dable said that before the game, right? I can't remember who is the reporter. I think that might have been Melanie Collins, but I apologize for whoever the sideline reporter was for Sunday Night Football last night. They've been changing that the last couple of years, but Brian Dable said before the game that it would be he's back, Andrew Thomas, but a snap count. And that he would not divulge what the snap count is, and he wanted to see how he performed in the game, and that would determine, give or take some of the snaps. So,
well, that's fine, and I want the guy healthy for the rest of the year, and that's all important. But I think there's a point at which I don't know if it's the wisest choice to stick him out there for the first half and then say the snap count ends at the first half. Like the most critical moments of the game. Oh, they need Andrew Thomas out there. He played well in the first half.
Sure,
they look like a completely different line with him out there, with the other guys where they belong. That line actually, for the first time this season, looked competent. Okay? They looked competent. So I know you're trying to protect him, and there's no way that I would want to put him in harm's way. I don't love the decision of we're just going to play him for 2 quarters and that's it. I don't know why that decision. Couldn't you have just spread him out a little more, taken him in and out of the first half a little bit, saw what he had? Okay, he clearly has something to offer. And then you play him on the critical plays in the second half when you really need him. This is a passing down. This is a critical. They're going with the backups. I was just like, oh, what are we doing? This is a recipe. And what happened? Russ was running for his life again. It was the same thing. It was just collapsing, and then Russ was panicking, and he just doesn't have the speed to escape anymore like he used to. And it was just same old. So, is it frustrating to be a Giants fan? It's so frustrating to be a Jets fan right now. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on the season. I'm not going to go to we'll go into the top of the draft thing. I promise I won't do that this year, Boy Green, until it's really way too late, too early, or whatever I would say. Yeah. All right. But no, I'm not doing it. I didn't have incredible expectations record-wise on the Giants this year. What I truly want to see out of the Giants this year, and I'm going to follow it right to the bitter end, is development. Okay, development. So let's see how it develops. But there were some good signs in the game last night, but I hated the way the Giants coached last night. The fact that he was vexed by a defensive coordinator daring to double a key guy and bracket a key guy and play some, unconventional defenses.
And not counter it with something.
And not be able to counter it somehow and get the ball in that guy's hands.
Strange.
It's very, very frustrating. How about Indiana Jones and the Indianapolis Colts? Holy
baby.
I was on it, baby, and I love it. 41-20 over the Titans. Emphatic victory there. Fabulous.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of the Atlanta Falcons, Boy Green. They got housed by the Carolina Panthers.
30-0
to zip.
And Michael Penix got benched, and Kirk Cousins made his debut this season.
I was going to ask you if he did.
Yes,
okay, he did get in the game.
Now, what they say, you could take this for whatever you will, whether you believe it or not. Okay. They say Michael Penix is clearly still our starting quarterback, but when you've opened up Pandora's box, and obviously Kirk didn't do anything. The Falcons didn't score a point, but he was 5 of 7 for 29 yards when he came into the game.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael Penix was awful. He had a 50% completion percentage. He had 2 picks. Falcons couldn't do anything. It was a stunning loss, and now they dropped to 1-2 on the season, the same record that the Carolina Panthers have. So bizarre, but the Falcons have come out and strongly said that Michael Penix is still their quarterback, but we'll see.
Yeah, I was watching Red Zone yesterday, so I only got a little bit of that game. And since there were no Atlanta highlights, only lowlights, that's all I really got. So I didn't hear that Cousins had gotten in that game. I was wondering about that. I was thinking about it. When you play that bad, it doesn't matter. They should put the
Right.
other guy in. That's just common sense.
And here's the other thing: you may have not seen this with all your traveling going on. My pregame show of choice, regardless of what game the Jets are playing, it's a show I watch before the hour before 12-1, is NFL on Fox. I've always loved that. That's what I grew up on. And Jay Glazer's on that. And at the beginning of every show, he has his inside scoop, and he hears things that no one else hears. And on Kirk Cousins, they brought him up, and the Falcons have not received a single trade call about Kirk Cousins this entire offseason. Not one. And the panel's like, wait, what? No one's called? He's like, not a single call. So I don't know if people are just like, they've read enough tea leaves and they know that the Falcons want this, that, or the other, and they're not willing to meet that price. Maybe
Possibly.
that's it, which seems to be the most likely of the outcomes, or what?
Cousins, unwillingness to
Right, it's a no trade clause.
move his family.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Because, like I said, I brought this up when we talked to Dalton last week. The idea that would Cousins, if the situation in Minnesota turned out to be worse than we think at this point for JJ. Okay,
for his injury, right? Yep.
Then would Cousins come back to Minnesota, where he just came from?
Sure. Has a house, has a family out there. Yeah,
very good there. He's been very comfortable there. He's had a lot of success there.
Of course. Yeah.
Maybe that would be the one place. So he does have the no trade. That might be part of it. And he's making a lot of money, Boy Green.
Of course.
For a guy his age, that the way he looked last year, you want to, if you're going to pay that kind of money, you want to get your money's worth.
Yeah, if I'm Kirk, I'm not taking any buyout from the Falcons. You want to cut me. I'm taking my money.
Absolutely. Oh, take the money and run. And he's been one of the most savvy sports guys out there. We've said it for years. I think his agent is a genius. I think he's even smarter to have hired that agent, because whatever they do, Kirk Cousins has made a ton of money in the NFL for a guy that's been very good, but nowhere near historically great. Will he even be a Hall of Famer? I don't think so.
Probably not.
No. So, I mean, he's made Hall of Fame dollars in a not Hall of Fame career. Now,
all right, Large.
Player. I'm not gonna bang him, but he's a terrific player. But he's from the school of very good and not from the school of great.
Of course not. Which I think is the best way to do it. But Large, I always love doing this when we can.
Oh, I lost your mic there, Boy Green. Oh, there you are. Go ahead.
Oh, can you hear?
I don't know why that was weird. Yeah. Okay.
So you mentioned that Kirk Cousins has made a lot of money in his career.
Mhm.
What are his career earnings? And here's this.
Brutal.
I just want to give context, although I don't know if this is going to make any difference. This counts through whatever this season is. I'm giving him that money as well. The 2025 season's worth of money that he has.
How many seasons has he been in the league? You got to give me some kind of.
Okay. He came in the RG3 year, so let me pull that up for you real quick.
That'll help me at least get a number on the table.
Oh, yeah. That's for seasons, I suppose. So, yeah, he's 37 years old. He was a 4th-round pick in 2012.
2012. So we're talking 13 years. This will be year 13 for him.
Yeah.
Or maybe even year 14.
Yeah, depending
13.
on. Yeah, right.
All right. So 14 years of play.
Career earnings.
He's had like 3 really good contracts in a row. I mean, he's just a killer. Oh, man. How much money has he made?
Again, I want to also clarify, I'm not giving him his full Falcons contract. Obviously, there's more money to be made depending on if he sticks around.
This year,
just
right?
through 2025. Career earnings for Kirk Cousins.
Hope I'm not. I don't know. I don't know if I'm near it or not. All right, I'm gonna. I gotta be way off on that. Hold on. All right. I'll venture a guess. It's not. I don't think it's going to be a good guess, but I'll venture.
Okay.
$250 million. $250 million.
$250 million. Has Kirk Cousins made $250 billion? Or $200 billion. Million. That is incorrect. He has made more.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
I'll just cut off the music there, and we'll at this moment in time.
He's more than a quarter billionaire.
He has made $331.7 million through 2025. And here's this.
Incredible.
If he plays out his Falcons contract, there's a few incentives in there, so some of this is juiced up. He will make $411 million.
He's almost half a billionaire in NFL earnings alone. That is a wise.
I need that agent.
Yeah, that is a wise agent and a wise player making good decisions based on his agent's advice. That is phenomenal.
$500 million he's close to. Unbelievable.
Yeah, why don't you go ask Lawrence Taylor how much he made in his
Oh,
career?
those poor bastards. Yeah,
Right. Right. You say it that way. It's so true. Those poor guys, who at the time we thought were richer than sin, right? Those poor guys. Kirk Cousins could buy them out 10 times over. It's crazy.
Lord. You have opened up another trivia question. All
Okay.
right, let's go back to the music. You just mentioned Lawrence Taylor offhand.
How much
What is Lawrence Taylor's career earnings? This is only football. Only football.
15 seasons, something like that. How many play?
Yeah. Let's. I'll get that up for you.
Give me seasons. I got to at least try to do the math here a little bit.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh,
Hey, you opened yourself up to this one, pal.
I did. You're right. I did.
Yeah,
So I might as well.
100%. Okay. So he played from 1981 through 1993, so 12 years, or
12
13 if you count the
seasons.
whatever. Yeah.
All right, 12 to 13 seasons.
Yep.
LT.
Lawrence Taylor. He played from, again, 81 through 93. I don't know if you can do inflation or whatever that would be, but
Canada's got to do the raw numbers.
Yeah.
Hopefully, put them in nice interest-bearing accounts. Played the stock market well.
Yeah.
This could be high. 50 million.
That is way high.
It's way too high. I knew it. I knew it was way too high. Give me a second guess. 25 million. Cut it in half. 25 million.
Too high.
It's still too high? How much did LT make? See what I mean? Cousins could buy him over 10 times. Oh, my God. What is it? What's the number?
15 million.
Oh, my God.
1-5 is what Lawrence Taylor made in his career playing football. According to Spot Track, 15.45 million is how much he made. And again, folks, Kirk Cousins so far in his career has made 331.7 million.
Wow. What'd you say in the back in there? I knocked my headphones out.
Oh, yeah, no. So, again, just to context, right? Lawrence Taylor, 15 million. Kirk Cousins, 331 million.
Oh, it's gonna
Good Lord.
It's going to be almost $500 million. Might as well get to the end of it. He's going to make it. He's making another almost more than another 110 more. Okay.
15 million.
For doing nothing the next 2 years, probably.
Yeah. Hey, good for him.
Oh, that is painful. I mean, it's not like LT played in the 60s. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
This is where the money's gone, folks. It's just gone that quickly. It's just gone up that fast, that quickly. It's remarkable. It really, really is remarkable. All right, a couple others on the week in football, Boy Green. I know we're going to talk to Dalton on Wednesday, but usually we're kind of looking forward more than we're looking back, but we can look back at a few things. Philly obviously pulls out that game. We talked about that earlier. Unbelievable blocked kick and a scoop and score.
The Rams dominated that game, too.
The Rams are about to win on a game-winning field goal on that one. It wasn't even a particularly long field goal. That thing goes, 98% of the time, 97% of the time, probably. They have a good kicker, right? Is Dicker the kicker, right? I think they have Dicker.
I know that's the Chargers. That's the Chargers have.
Who's got the? Who's
I'll get the Rams in a second.
They have a good kicker, unlike the Giants, who were like trying to run Graham Gano out there with a bad thigh, and they sent him out.
Yeah, he hurt his groin.
Yeah, his groin. Oh my God! Did you see him grimace after he made that kick?
Jesus.
Oh my God! The Giants—they're out of their minds.
Joshua Carty is the Rams kicker.
Yeah.
Joshua Carty.
Okay, I don't know him that well, but he would.
I don't either.
Come on, he would have made it. So that was disappointing for sure. The Steelers found a way to win against New England. What you got to do is win the games, So far, so good for Aaron Rodgers.
2-1
points, but they're 2-1 in the thick as usual. Mike Tomlin finds a way. Yeah. It's amazing. We talked about the heartbreaking Jets. Jacksonville continues to win. I don't know what's up with Houston.
Texans are 0-3.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Houston.
Oh boy.
Bad shape. That was bad. That was a bad loss for them, despite the fact that it was on the road.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned another bad game for Michael Thomas. Jacksonville still winning one out of apparently.
Michael Thomas.
I'm sorry. Brian Thomas.
Oh, Brian Thomas.
Then Denver. That was a frustrating game to me. I was on Denver on the picks, and I know mostly everyone else was on the Chargers.
Yeah.
I think it was just me and Ed, actually, that were on Denver.
Nice.
And Denver could have won that game. They should have won that game multiple times. Come on. If Bo Nix doesn't overthrow a guy 5 times, I mean, they had guys open down the field. He just kept chucking it over their head. So that was brutal because Denver should have and played well enough, other than their quarterback, to win that game. And they only lost by 3, 23-20. So
by the way,
won that game.
Quentin Johnston, he was a bust receiver. Now he's the superstar receiver for the Chargers. What the hell happened?
What happened? I don't know. Unbelievable. So Denver goes down to the Chargers. The Chargers, right? 3-0? I think they are.
Of course they are.
Yeah. 3-0 leading the league, right?
Broncos 1-2 now.
And Matt Lombardo said that could be a division-defining win because they won 3 in their division. I think the 3 wins are all over division foes. I think
No. They played the Chiefs in Friday night.
Okay.
Right? Well, the Chiefs are in their division.
No. I'm saying the Chargers. What are their 3 wins? Can you take a peek at their schedule?
Yes.
What are their 3 wins?
Yes. You're right.
All over division foes.
Yeah, I wasn't understanding what you were saying. Yes.
Yeah.
All in the AFC West. Yes, which is crazy that they started a schedule that way.
Right. You don't see that very often.
Raiders,
and they've won all 3.
Yeah, they have. So they're up 3-0 already in the division. That's
they're in good shape. That's a great place to be. Not only 3-0, but 3 division wins at 3.
And one of them on the road. Yeah.
Powerful. What has gotten into Sam Darnold and Seattle? That team is looking like gangbusters. Wow. Very impressive win by them over New Orleans. I know New Orleans is terrible, but still, they put up 44 points. Darnold looks sharp as can be. Woo.
38 in the first half.
New Orleans is a good elixir for anyone, I think, and they were yesterday for Seattle. 44-13 was the final in that game. Wow. Chicago Bears blowing out Dallas.
That surprised me. And CeeDee Lamb gets hurt, right? He doesn't record a single catch. He gets hurt at the beginning of the game with an ankle. Jerry Jones said, not as bad as we thought. Everyone keep your prayers together. So it's hard to interpret what Jerry Jones means. But CeeDee Lamb gets hurt, which is tough for the Cowboys.
Too bad. It looks like Joe Bartle's going to get away with it. He has CD in fantasy. I played him last week, and CD had a pretty darn good game.
Yeah.
This week, he got the big 0, but I think he's still going to hang on. He's in a tight one. He's in a tight one. It's going to come down to tonight, I think. I think he's playing Courtney tonight. They're tight, but he's got enough of a cushion. He might hang on despite a 0, a goose egg.
Ooh, I don't know. We'll see what happens. She's got 3 players to go and basically a 43-point gap. I wouldn't feel too safe.
She's got a shot. She's got a shot.
She definitely has a shot. With Jared Goff,
it's a shootout tonight. It's a shootout tonight. She'll probably win. If it's a grind, then she probably won't. So that'll be interesting. The tenor of that game.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Somehow the 49ers held on.
Running Mac Jones.
With Mac Jones, 16-15. Come on, Arizona, win a game.
Disgusting.
And terrible news for Arizona. I heard this morning James Conner looks like season ending.
Yeah,
season ending for Conner. So that's a blow for Arizona. That hurts. Anybody that has James Conner in a fantasy league, start looking at options.
Yeah.
Anybody in our league? I got Jordan Mason. He's up there. He's available for the right offer. Looking for a nice receiver, for a nice running back. That's what I'm looking for. A nice receiver for a nice running back.
Might have to call you on that.
As they say in The Godfather, make me an offer I can't refuse. Okay, just make me an offer I can't refuse. Fantasy people. All right, and then you're in business. All right, Kansas City beats the Giants in Sunday Night Football 22-9. You've heard my take on that. And finally, we get the good Monday Night Football game tonight. Baltimore at home against Detroit. Very much looking forward to watching that, and I really hope the Lions show up. Need the Lions to cover that one at least, hoping they win the game.
Yeah, we'll see. That should, like I said, should be a fun game tonight. Obviously, massive fantasy implications for a lot of people. Think about Jared Goff, Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers. There's all kinds of fantasy players at play tonight, which are going to determine matchups across the league. So,
hey, quick asides before we get out of here today, Boy Green. Number one, we didn't get a chance at all. I don't know if you talked about it on your Jet show. Your trip to Hamilton last week, middle of the week. You and your lovely went to Hamilton. I've seen many posts from her. She's quite the social media mogul. She seemed to totally enjoy it. Is readying herself for another 5 plays apparently. But how was it for you? Did you get it? Did you like it? Did you what'd you think?
Yeah. So,
and be honest. Look, Bud has invited me and my bride. She didn't come to Hamilton with us. She came to Les Mis. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And Bud, he loves.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was just talking to me about that yesterday.
It's like a religious experience for him.
Apparently,
And Pat, she didn't say this to Bud, but she said it to me after we got home. Pat's just general thing on plays is she doesn't love musicals. Okay, so despite the fact that Les Mis is, it's like, it gets to you. The music comes through you. When the whole cast sings in some of those moments in Les Mis, it's like, whoa, you want to just retract in your chair. And she was like, musicals don't do much for me. So it was a mensa for her. This is like blasphemy to Bud. I try never to say it to him because he'll probably never invite me to a play again.
Probably not. By proxy,
the same way, but by proxy, I somehow now become, you're the one with the wife who could care less and doesn't even appreciate a good musical. So now I don't even get an invite. So I don't want to put myself in that position. But she just doesn't love musicals, and so she enjoyed it. But she wasn't like. It wasn't breathtaking to her. I was like, wow, I would see that again. That was fabulous.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, and I did see Hamilton a couple of years ago. Bud got me in on a last-minute front row seat, which was phenomenal.
Wow. Yeah.
Somebody got sick, and he called me.
Okay.
He said, "You got to decide in 10 minutes." I was like, "I'll decide in 30 seconds. I'm in." All
Yeah.
right. So I went, and I truly enjoyed that as well. So I do enjoy. But what's your honest assessment? What'd you
Well, I
think?
will say that same caveat you just gave about your wife is that you know,
It's not everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine.
yeah,
That's
my
fine.
fiance is a massive Disney fan.
Yes, I know she is.
So,
Yes,
and
so
so perhaps the greatest thing that happened with children is sweet. She gets to watch Disney all the time with all these kids because now she gets to shove it down their throat. And the part that I don't like the most about Disney movies is the singing portion. That's the parts that I normally
So you're
don't
not a
appreciate.
musical person?
I am not at all. And to be honest, this Hamilton show is the first musical I've ever been to in my life.
There's
I've
a lot
never,
of singing in Hamilton. Ton.
that there is, and
Yeah.
as a matter of fact, Bud confirmed to me that there's actually not a single moment during Hamilton that there is not singing.
Oh,
Even
it's
the dialogue
every
is
line
singing.
sung. Okay, I
He
didn't
says
realize that.
every line is sung, and I didn't know that either, obviously. So I went, "Oh, okay." That
might
in
be
my
true.
head, great, because I hate singing normally. But
Yeah.
I will tell you, I tried to enter with an open mind. Bud obviously is a thespian, and he loves all that that entails or includes and everything from that standpoint. And I tried to have an open mind about this because Bud put me on the Game of Thrones track. I had never seen
Right.
Game of Thrones, but Bud kept talking about it when we were at ESPN Radio. It said Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones. I'm like, fine, I'll watch it. And then it was awesome.
You loved
And
it.
I loved it. So I said, you know what, Bud, let me give this a whirl. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you, on all the theater stuff, it was overwhelming in a good way.
Mhm.
The music, the choreography, the crowd that night. Again, it's my first theater show ever, so I don't know if crowds are always like that. It was just lively. So after a song happens, there's just this almost drop the mic moment. There's this thing, one of the and I told Bud this yesterday because he called me because he wanted a recap of like he's asking me the same question you did, basically like, all right, give me the deets. How'd you feel about it?
What you say to him? Oh my God.
And the thing that I said was an annoying side effect that he didn't tell me about is now I'm waking up in the morning and I'm just hearing these Hamilton songs in my head over and over again as I'm going to the bathroom. It's stuck in there. And I'm like, that's super annoying. And he's like, great. I'm glad it worked. And I will tell you that the crowd experience. So there's a drop at the end of every song. It's like one of the song things is in the room where it happened, and they go in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. Boom, and everyone just like poses for this final thing, and then the lights go out for a second as they reset whatever to the next thing is. Yes. And as I was putting all that that was happening, the crowd would burst out like a touchdown in the room. So it's just like euphoric, a boom, and then claps and screams, and I'm like, oh my God, whoa! I did not know that there's kind of this lively atmosphere happening on some of these shows. So that part was really good. I'll tell you, there was one really bad part though.
Okay.
So Bud hooked me up with tickets. I paid for them, but I just said, hey, can you get me in? Because I think it's sold out. I don't know. My fiance wanted to go. And so he sits me and Tatiana sit like 7 rows. We're right there. So great seats. And I'm sitting next to this old guy next to me. And he must have seen the show 65 times or something.
He was saying what's going to happen the whole time.
So there would be like, and again, there'd be a moment that would happen. Like they have jokes in it, right? Like in the middle of dialogue, the guy would turn, like Hamilton would turn to a guy and go, yep, it's true. And everyone goes, ha, 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 ha. Look, that was funny. And he would obnoxiously go, oh, whoa, yeah, yeah. And I'm just like, dude, shut up. And it was the entire play, every single time. So when someone died, oh God, oh no. And I'm like, dude, shut up and watch it. Jesus.
Yeah, just watch it. We don't need the commentary.
But I know every time I was like play by play. I didn't sign up for it all. So he was next to me. So when someone died or a great moment happened, or there was Hamilton is a flirtatious man with a lot of these women, and there'd be a moment where a sweet moment happens. He's like, oh, and I'm like, dude, shut up. But I didn't say anything. I just kept like every once in a while I just sort of side-eye glance at him like, dude, okay, I'm glad that you've seen it 100 times and you want everyone else to hear your play-by-play, but I didn't sign up for that. Anyways, that was the worst part. But
you should have done a George from Seinfeld when he was doing the opposite of everything. And the guy's in the theater, he's at the theater with his girlfriend, and they start jostling the chairs, and she's like, maybe we should just move. And he goes, he thinks about it for a second. He goes, no, I'm opposite guy, right? I'm going to do the exact opposite of what I normally do.
Yeah, right.
I've got this, stands up, turns around, goes, if you kick those damn chairs one more time.
That's what I should. Right. Yeah, right. So that's apparently what I should have done. But I will, again, there was music, the lighting. And for me, my eyes just wander during it because, like, the spotlight, I imagine, points to where you're supposed to be looking.
There's so much to see.
Right, but my eyes would just wander. So, like, while they're singing, I just start looking up because there's, there's multiple levels. There's like people that are on second and third levels that are dancing and everything. And I just sort of like was saying to myself, like subconsciously, like, are they all in sync? Like, they're not. The spotlight isn't on them. Are they just being lazy because they're not on? Are they going to be like half-ass doing it? And I was like, whoa, they're all in sync. They're all doing the thing that they're taking their parts with a lot of pride. And even if not everyone in the room is looking at them because the spotlight's pointed somewhere else, they're still going through,
as they call them.
Correct. And there's all kinds of like things like, man, at any moment, one slight here or there could have messed up the whole thing. They do all these things during the play where, like, it's hard to explain. Like a movie, like something happens and everyone knows that it happened, but there are moments where it's Hamilton's thoughts, like the rest of everyone sort of pauses in slow motion and and he's speaking, but we can tell that it's his own thoughts that are going on in his brain and no one else can actually hear it, even though we all can literally hear it. And there's people grabbing chairs in slow motion, moving them, and then they place them down, and obviously there's communication that they both run off stage and grab the opposite person's chair, and they could run into each other, be this loud mess, and all these things happen. So everyone looking for all this play-by-play of Hamilton. Yeah, so it was crazy. It was overwhelming. I'm a football guy. I'm not going to start organizing my Sundays around plays, but if the right moment hits and the right play is there, he keeps talking about this Les Mis thing, so maybe I'm going to have to eventually see that. But it was a wow experience. Now, again, I don't know if I can quite understand the money I pay for football tickets and that this theater show is rivaling my football ticket prices. I'm sort of like, I don't know, man. I don't know the price, but obviously they work really hard and the show was spectacular and my fiance loved it. I kept looking at her every once in a while. I could see she was mouthing every song because she knows them all by heart. And so she got a kick out of it. It was cool. We got to dress up,
I saw that.
That is the one thing I took from Bud. So Bud gave me all these rules if I was going to be allowed to go. And I was paying for tickets, but there's all these rules like, hey, man,
the tickets. Come on.
Don't dress like a slob and don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't
eat anything out at the theater.
Correct.
Out at the theater.
Which is how he said it. And I went, okay. And all the credit to Tatiana.
It's not the worst advice.
Yeah, no. And so she dressed me in a tie, no jet stuff, no hats, the hair combed over, all this other stuff I had to do. And I'm like, sure. Okay, Bud, that's your rule. Fine, no problem. And that seems respectful. But he had just beaten it into my head that, like, hey, I've told you, don't show up like a hobo or a hippie. And so when I went, his rules that he imparted on me, I was now judging other people that showed up to this event. There were people in flip-flops and tank tops, and I'm like, what in the world? But I've never been to a theater show, so all of a sudden now I'm the one looking at people with side eye. That's how you show up to this thing, huh? Yeah. And I'm like, what am I doing? I've never been to a theater show, so it was crazy how Bud's rules sort of implanted into my own brain about it. So thanks, honey. I appreciate the pen. So that part was sort of crazy, but also I look at all these people. There are flip-flop people and all kinds of crazy people out in the audience, and I'm like, man, show some respect. Show some reverence for God's sakes. But crazy show.
So Bud flipped you. That's pretty cool. And not that I want to spend a lot of time on this, especially people hate to hear other people's experiences on vacations, but I did have a nice time in Newport, Rhode Island. I dropped a couple of videos in our feed, despite the fact that they're not sports. I thought people would appreciate it. I know it's like, there's nothing more annoying than the Facebook friend who's like always going on vacation and posting their pictures. And you're like, well, Greece is wonderful, but man, I wish I were there instead of you.
Yeah, right.
So I'm not going to bore you with that, but we did. We had a very nice time. The weather was fabulous. For anyone that's never been to Newport, Rhode Island, what a great walking around town. It's, the genesis of it is really attached to the Gilded Age, where these insanely rich people like the Vanderbilts built these summer palaces. Okay. Yeah, there's my little short of I went to these 40 steps. This is right on the cliffs. They have a thing called the Cliff Walk, and you just walk. It's like a 3.5 mile thing where you walk on a cliff, and I'm just standing at the top of the steps. And if I went down to that platform, you can even go right down to the rocks and walk on the rocks and jump in the water, which there were people swimming.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Off of these rocky shorelines here. As a matter of fact, that little pan over, you see some people hanging on that rock. Those people jumped in the water. So people just go down there and hang. It's kind of like hanging in your own private little world. But the weather was wonderful. The place is wonderful. If you like architecture and, things that crazy rich people do with their money back in those days. It's kind of fascinating. The premium house is that one. Yeah, that one. The perfect timing. Boy Green, right over my shoulder there. That is called the Breakers, and the Breakers is a mansion that was built by Cornelius and Cornelius II, the Vanderbilts, the father and the son.
Cool.
I think it was the son that primarily built the Breakers, and it is right down on the water. You saw me reverse the camera there. It sits out on this beautiful peninsula, and you talk about garish and like his personal library, the ballroom where they had dancing and dinners, the dining rooms were off the charts, insane. And they have a lot of the original chairs and it's just to look at stuff from that old, from the 1800s, it's kind of fun. I like history. So it was a really cool place. And I didn't post any photos because, again, I don't want to bore people with, my personal stuff here.
You got to do that on Instagram, Lurch. That's where everyone does it.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. But it still can be obnoxious sometimes. But I was mentioning this to you. We went on, the first thing we did when we arrived there is we jumped on a helicopter. And we did a helicopter ride looking at all of these mansions and this rugged coastline. And man, that was outstanding to look at that. It was a beautiful sunny day the day I arrived on Friday. So it was just gorgeous. You could just see for miles. And that was really, really cool. So I haven't been on a helicopter, I think, since my honeymoon. So that goes back a long way. That was fun. I always enjoyed helicopters. They're kind of smooth. And I know there's been some helicopter accidents lately. So that might scare some people off. And I don't blame you if you are. But you can't see the place better than that from above. Looking down at these mansions, to see the size of things when you're up above it and to see the scale. It was really, really impressive. So that was a good choice. I will definitely go back. You will get some more videos from me some point in the next few years because I will definitely go back. That was a great, really good weekend trip choice for me and my wife. So I think we both
awesome. Good for you guys.
We weren't sure. We were thinking about a bunch of places, and I was like, it's 5.5, but let's do it. Let's hop in the car and do 5.5 because my recollections, I was there many, many years ago, was that it was pretty cool. But this time around, it was even cooler. And we stayed with some really nice people, which was great. We knew somebody in the area, and that made it even better. So it was great. Great trip. Really enjoyed it. It was nice to get one more kind of in before the summer ends because it's going to end soon. Officially today is the last day of summer. So how appropriate that we're talking about this on the final day of summer. We are at the autumn solstice.
There we are.
Okay? So there we are. So look, let's set up the week for people since we got another busy week as usual. We will be back live again. Dalton Wasserman back with us from PFF on Wednesday to break down all this past weekend's football, get his take on some of the stuff, some of the injuries, and then look forward to week 4 in the NFL season. We have Joe Bartle, as usual, our live Friday. I'll be back for that. I know you did that solo this week. I just popped in to annoy Joe because I kicked his butt in fantasy, and I couldn't
appreciated
get away without me saying something to him. So I jumped in on that real quick, but we'll have Joe as usual on Friday. But we got some other good stuff this week too. Tell people what we're set up for here this week.
Yes, we'll have David Shoemate. He is the play-by-play voice of Duke, and we'll see Syracuse. Seeing if they can continue to add to the pile of wins that they're
Listen,
mounting.
at this point, you have to think Syracuse should be able to get to 4-1 here. I mean, I know.
No offense to Duke, I guess, but yeah,
Syracuse has to be looking at this right now to say we can get to 4 wins right now.
Yeah, I agree. So you have David Shoemate, so he will be joining us. We'll continue to do that. Shout out to our friends over at Play It Again Sports Syracuse for all our local coverage. Jets, Giants, Bills, that's coming. So Ed Valentine, unfortunately, coming off the Sunday Night Football loss to the Chiefs. Jets lost to Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they're coming up next on Monday Night Football against Miami Dolphins. So that's another part of the conversation. Obviously, the Buffalo Bills continue their journey of undefeatedness for the Bills coming up this season. So if you're a Buffalo fan, you got to feel good about that. And up next for the Buffalo Bills, good Lord, is the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
So
This schedule is unbelievably soft.
Oh, dear Lord. The Saints coming off what just happened in Buffalo. Oh, boy. So that should be a game and a half.
Yeah. Folks, if you haven't seen the short, we dropped a short this week. So just go into our shorts on our YouTube channel, especially for those of you that are subscribers, but you can get there even if you're not. We dropped a short this week. Anthony Prohaska, who is our Bills insider, he's just like a lot of crazy Bills fans. He is incredibly superstitious. He won't make predictions, and he won't even admit to us when the Bills have nothing in front of them and they should be 6-0 in a couple of weeks. And he's like, "Oh, don't say it. I'm never saying that."
Oh yeah, it's a good video.
Still be all right. So there's a great short showing the craziness of the Buffalo Bills fan, and Anthony certainly is one of them. You got to go check out that short. It's pretty cool. Continue, Boy Green. I'm sorry.
No. So we have Bills, Jets, Giants. And again, make sure you guys always check out our shorts. We're always pumping out content over there. And we got a new fun intern staff, which is a lot of fun to mix it up. We have our live show, of course. Again, I mentioned it Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays live in the morning. Mondays and Wednesdays, it's 11 o'clock currently. Every Wednesday, PFF NFL analyst Dalton Wasserman joins us every Wednesday at 11 o'clock. So that's a lot of fun. Friday, it's a little earlier. It's at 10:30 with Joe Bartle, our fantasy football guru from rotowire.com, answering your fantasy football questions. Make sure you guys submit those questions in advance so we get those in the hopper. This next interview video package I'm going to tell you about is not live, but you guys can always check it out in our video section. It's our NFL picks against the spread. You heard Lurch dedicate some time to this live show earlier to talk about it on the program. And so we have our picks, and Lurch may have done pretty well, and some other people may not have done as well, which we'll get into that. We've got one more game to rally up for the week 3 slate here of those games coming through. So we'll have NFL picks against the spread. We'll have fantasy football. We also have, as Badshot pointed out, at 9:30-ish, that ballpark, we'll have a Survivor interview with Brett LaBelle recapping the first episode of this new season of season 49. It's going to be a lot of fun. Our first dip ever with the video world with Brett, beyond some of the stuff we did a little bit earlier this summer. So, man, it's so much content. It's overwhelming. It's overflowing, and hopefully you guys can be a part of it. And I just said it, Lurch. I know we said our goodbyes at the end of June for radio for you after doing 25 years in radio. Well, I officially just said goodbye over the weekend for at least the foreseeable future, because Syracuse Mets, their season just ended over the weekend. So I'm not going to the radio station anymore. So hello, everybody. My name is Paul Eston, and I'm now a full-time digital content creator. So, let's see how this all goes. And obviously that's only possible with your guys' support out there in the audience.
Yep. Okay. So let's build towards 500. We got a golf club to give away. That's pretty cool. And Boy Green, off air here, we'll talk momentarily about getting that name selected, and we will announce our name of our winner of the David Tyree autograph, The Catch, framed photo. Manchild is mailing that sucker out hopefully by the end of this week to our winner. We'll announce that winner at the top of Wednesday's live broadcast. So you want to be there at 11 o'clock on Wednesday to hear if your name is being called. Boy Green will create a graphic and everything. It'll be really
Yes, it'll be great.
All right, fantastic. I hope it's a Giants fan, but, it might end up in somebody else's hands. I can't stop that.
We'll see what happens.
Right. Thanks, everybody, for checking us out. Again, thanks to our friends from Bayberry Automotive for sponsoring today's video. And we will see you live on Wednesday. Lots of content getting dropped before then. But Poliquin will be dropped tomorrow at 11. We do that every single Tuesday at 11. So you don't want to miss my old grouchy partner, Bud Poliquin. That's coming. Maybe I'll ask him something about Hamilton. All right. Anyway, that's all coming this week. So stay tuned. We'll see you, folks. Sayonara.